The 2025 bottles are upon us. Which one do you want? Welcome back, Anonymous Biker USA. Here we are early 2025, and with that, all of the new models have been launched. Not all, but a good bit. Harley, Indian, Royal Enfield, and on and on and on. So, of all these models that have come out, which one really rings your bell? If we look at Harley, they've made a price increase as expected, a little higher than we thought, color changes, and a lot of the same. However, for Harley, in my opinion, the one bike that they made some pretty good improvements to is the one that I like the best for 2025, and that would be the Lowrider ST. I always thought that was a pretty nice platform, but now with the additions they made, the 4-inch cluster, instead of that little LED readout, I think that looks a lot better. You know, cruise control, more power, more torque. It's a really formidable all-around machine. It still has a lot of maneuverability, pretty nimble, and I really want to ride one. So, it comes in at just about $25K. It's a little on the high side, but it is a Harley. All of the other Harleys, the big road glides and street glides and things with tour packs, I looked at them, but I didn't really deep dive because I'm not really interested in a big old bagger with a tour pack anymore. I did that. It's not the style of riding I choose to do at this point in time. So, with Harley, for me, it's the Lowrider ST, and they have some pretty cool colors. Indian has also made some big significant changes, bringing out the Tower Plus motor across some of its other platforms. So that should be interesting. Welcomed by a lot. For me, an Indian, I'll stick with the two bikes that I think are the best platforms they have. Obviously, I'm on my Scout, so I'm sticking with that Indian Scout 101. I mean, they already made a really solid performing platform, that much better with the 4-inch touchscreen, the GPS, better suspension. I mean, better brakes. They just really did a good job on that 101. And the color schemes, the red or the white, I think it's really nice. And the Chief. Whether you get the Super Chief, Sport Chief, Chief Bobber Dark Horse, I think that's a really nice bike and a lot of bang for the buck for the power. And you can upgrade all of them to put a windshield on, bags on if you don't go Super Chief. But you know, the Chief Sport, now they have the Chief Sport RT. I like the Chief Sport RT. I don't like the bags. They're a little too high and a little too square for that model. I think they need to redesign that. And I am certain an aftermarket company is hard at work right now because just change the bags out, and that is a really capable all-around bike with a lot of fun. Some of the other manufacturers, you know, KTM made some splashes, Royal Enfield in the ADV market, and I didn't see anything from Ducati. I know KTM is having trouble financially, and they let go of MV Agusta, so they no longer will be supporting that brand. So not sure what's going on there with the KTM. Honda is still being very tight-lipped. No idea what the 2025 50th anniversary Goldwing is going to look like. From a lot of reports, this is early February 2025. They claim that they're going to launch it in February 2025. And from some of the little silhouettes and spy shots that I've seen, it doesn't look like it's changed body style much from the 2018 launch. But who knows if they're updated tech. We'll have to wait and see. So I am curious to see what they do with that. As you all know, I am a 2021 Goldwing owner. So curious to see how they change that platform, if at all. And speaking of Honda, that leads me over to the BMW K1600B. Now, in looking at that touring bike and then seeing the Harley and Indian touring bike, the $27,000 to $35,000 category. I personally wouldn't pay that for the Harley or the Indian. However, if you are interested in a world-class touring bike, and you look at that BMW K1600B, you really get that thing packed full of punch for the money. Way more so in the offering than the Indian or Harley, in my opinion. From the tech to the suspension, heated grips, heated seats, GPS. You name it, it has it. Now, the GPS is a little suspect because it's through that BMW Rider app. So I heard that's kind of touch and go. I don't have direct experience, so I don't know. My thing with BMW would be, come on, let's do a little better on the GPS so we don't have to go through an app and do some rain dance and get everything to connect. However, from a performance standpoint and a touring standpoint, dollar for dollar, the value in that BMW K1600 over the big American touring bike seems to be much greater. Just my opinion. It's not a bike out. Right along with the 25 Goldwing, but I don't know the price and I don't know the offering, so can't say much about that. Now, if we want to get into the just pure ridiculousness category, and a bike that I think is really awesome is from Triumph. They're coming out soon, hopefully in March, with the limited edition Triumph Rocket 3 GT and R in the Evel Knievel paint scheme. So there will be 250 Rs made, 250 GTs in a really cool Evel Knievel paint scheme. I think that makes the whole bike. And it'll have some Evel Knievel adornments throughout the platform, and it will be limited. You'll see the number. So now that bike, number one, I think it looks awesome. I've always liked the Rocket. And then I rode the Rocket Storm, which was the upgraded platform, the 2500cc, largest production motorcycle engine. And I said production, so don't say Boss Haas and all that other. They're one-offs. This is production. Triumph. 2500 cc's, 180 horsepower, 166 foot-pound of torque. I rode it. It was comfortable, and it was amazing. Now that bike in the GT form, you can get it set up with forward controls. You can also, it has heated seat, heated grips. And you can get a little bigger windscreen for your touring, and it does come with panniers. So not your traditional big touring bike, but it is very capable. And I see a lot of people on YouTube that have them that do mega trips. The beauty of the Rocket 3 is you can also, even though that thing has a 240 rear, you can take that up in the mountains, and the thing handles really well and pretty nimble for its size and weight. So for me in 2025, they're the bikes that I'm most interested in. I want to ride all of those, see what they have to offer, see how they feel, and who knows? Maybe one of those will wind up in the garage. How about you? Let me know what you think of the bikes that have come out, which ones have piqued your interest. Maybe none of them did, but I'd be curious to see which ones they are. Thanks for watching, and don't forget,